morning to each and everyone. I am Moshada Alastila, and in my topic, we are going to tackle about the teaching strategy for multicultural students. So, incorporating strategies in multicultural education begins with the self-reflection of the teacher. To reflect on the expectations of students with different cultural backgrounds, Dr. Leanne Howell of the National Association for the Multicultural Education presented the tips on the ways to incorporate the multicultural education strategies inside the classroom. First strategy, we have the building relationships with students. So to build a strong connection with your students, it is important for teachers to talk to them beyond just class lessons. This can be during lunch breaks, in the hallway, or after class. Ask them how they're doing with their homework, how group projects are going, or even simple things like their favorite food in the canteen. This casual conversation helps students feel more comfortable, understood, and respected. When students feel that their teacher genuinely cares, they are more likely to engage in class and show better behavior. Next strategy we have the approach students with curiosity. Approach students with curiosity. Instead of quickly punishing students for misbehaving or do not doing well, try to understand why they are acting that way. Every student has a different background. Some may be going through problems at home, struggling with learning difficulties, or dealing with personal issues. A curious and caring teacher will ask questions like, "Is something bothering you?" or "How can I help you?" This approach builds trust and helps the teacher better support the students' needs. Next strategy, we have cultivate a growth mindset in the classroom. In this strategy, you have to encourage students to set small, achievable goals. When they reach these goals, it gives them a sense of progress. Remind students that learning is a process and it is okay to make mistakes or improve slowly. The important thing is to keep trying. Teach them that hard work and perseverance are more important than being perfect. When students believe they can grow through effort, they become more motivated and confident. And that is to cultivate a growth mindset in the classroom, which is the third strategy. Next strategy, we have to help students build confidence. So to help students build confidence, we have to celebrate even the small wins our students have. Whether it is getting a good grade, helping a classmate, or improving their behavior. When students feel recognized and appreciated, they gain confidence. This self-belief pushes them to try harder and aim higher. A simple good job or a public praise in a class can go a long way in making them feel proud and motivated. And that is the fourth strategy. Now let us move on to the fifth strategy, which is promote inclusion. But before we tackle what is promote inclusion, let us tackle what is inclusion. Inclusion means making sure that every student feels welcome, accepted, and respected no matter their background. Students come from different ethnic groups, provinces, languages, religions, and genders. Teachers must create a classroom environment where everyone feels like they belong. So we have to promote that. This means respecting and celebrating differences, avoiding favoritism, and making sure that all students have equal opportunities to participate and succeed.
Good morning, ma'am. I am Dulce Amor Lumapay Mahelio, the next discussant. So my topic is all about the continuation of the previous discussion. So let's begin. Remember that students are not the same. This emphasizes the importance of recognizing individual differences among students, even those in the same grade and age group. Teachers need to use assessment to understand these differences and tailor their teaching to meet diverse learning needs and ensure lessons are understood. Focus on culture when designing learning experiences for students. This emphasizes that teachers should consider the cultural backgrounds and the experiences of their students when planning lessons. These differences should be seen as a valuable assets that can enrich learning for everyone, rather than obstacles to classroom management. Present were examples of diverse literature. This point stresses that necessity of including a wide range of texts in the classroom that reflect the experiences of diverse students. When students are themselves and their background represented in learning materials, it enhances relatability and leads to a deeper understanding. So the next one is be facilitative. This emphasizes that teachers should act as a guide rather than lectures. Learning happens when students actively explore and discover things themselves, with the teachers providing support and direction. Next one is align teaching style and physical space to support themselves. This emphasizes that the importance of making sure how to teach and how the classroom is set up actively help the students reach the learning goals. Cooperative activities are highlighted, and it's crucial that everyone participates, not just a few. Next is design opportunities for students to work together. This highlights the value of pairing students in different groups to foster inclusivity. Working on a problem-based task in groups helps students learn to collaborate, solve real issues together, and develop empathy for their classmates. So next is involving the community or involve the community. Bringing guest speakers into the classroom connects learning to real-world events in societal issues. This helps students understand how what they learn in school relates to their lives and the broader community, bridging the gap between the classroom and the outside world. Next is check how school leadership shapes school practices. The way school leaders approach discipline, diversity, and inclusivity significantly influences the overall school environment. Strong leadership that values inclusivity helps students succeed not only in the classroom but also throughout the school. Lastly, for my topic, take a look at the whole school environment. Creating a truly inclusive environment requires more than just an individual teacher being supportive. The entire school beyond the classroom needs to embrace multicultural diversity as a fundamental approach to ensure all students feel comfortable, safe, and valued. And that will do all with my part. Thank you, ma'am.
Hi everyone, a better morning. This is Isabel C. Pesumala Jr., the next presenter. So now let's proceed to the lesson 2, which is the teaching different styles of reading materials. So there's a lot of different styles of reading materials. So first you have the magazines. So the magazines, it is a highlights the variety of magazines available, it making them suitable for all types of students. Their accessibility in both print or newsstand and digital formats is emphasized. So that is the magazines. So now the second is you have the comics. So comics, it is the text focus on comics ability to engage students and encourage reading. So it is specifically points out their effectiveness in teaching dialogue. So that is the comics. So the third one is we have the manuals. So the manuals, it is these teach students how appliances, mga cars, and other devices work. And reading manuals build vocabulary and connects reading to practical everyday objects. That is the manuals. So now let's proceed to the newspaper. So newspaper, it exposes students to current events. However, teachers must carefully select sections to avoid potentially traumatic content. So that's it. Now, the poetry is presented as a creative way to foster a love of reading and writing. So students writing their own poems and combine reading and writing skills. So this is the poetry. So now let's proceed to the travel brochures. So what is the travel brochure? So it visually appealing brochures motivate students to read and learn about different places and cultures, and that is the travel brochures. So the next we have the encyclopedia. So the encyclopedia, it provide a vast general knowledge base, allowing students to choose subjects that interest them. That is the encyclopedia. And the next is we have the sport program. So what is the sport program? So sport program it reading about favorite sports and athletes, and it is motivate students to read sports articles. So that is the sports program. So the next we have the catalogs. So the catalogs with their product descriptions, it encourages students to read short descriptions even if they avoid longer text. So this is the catalogs. So the next we have the recipes. So recipes from cooking classes provide real life reading examples suitable for all ages. So it helps also those mga students. So the next we have the dictionaries. So what is dictionaries? So dictionaries help students learn new words daily. It's supplementing vocabulary rather, and it's building activities. So it also very helpful the dictionaries. So next we have the play script. So the play script is reading script from plays, TV or movies, adds an artistic element to reading, and it is making it engaging. And the next is we have the Atlantis. So Atlantis, it combines geography lessons with reading, it offering students a chance to learn about countries while reading the map. So the Atlantis, it combines geography lessons with reading, and also there's the students chance to learn about countries about while reading the maps. So the next is we have the public science. So the public science, it recognizing common public sign is crucial for children, and parents and teachers can help by reading and explaining these signs. So it building language awareness and reading skills. So public science also is very helpful to sa mga students. So the last one is we have the books they write. So writing is a powerful tool for improving reading. Students should evaluate, rewrite, and read their own essays, poems, and stories to enhance their reading and writing abilities. So that's all my part, and now let's proceed to the other presenters.